Dobre Ota. To all of you, I am Christopher B. Pinili.
Привет, I am Manuel Singson.
Utro, and I'm Alexander Sebastian Faicho.
Here today to discuss about the Russian population, clothing, religion, tradition, and other more. But before that, let us talk about the information about the Russian country.
So, the Russians country, also known as the largest country in the world, covering both Eastern and Europe and Northern Asia, with a population of over 144 million.
So, Russia has an approximate population in this year of 2025, 144 million people. But Russia has been experiencing a decline in population due to low birth rates and high death rates, leading to a negative neutral population growth that is not fully offset by immigration. The official language of Russia is Russian, which in sole official language of Russian Federation, examples of Russian phrases include Dobre utro, which means good morning, and Privyet, which means hello.
Russians' clothing is traditionally rich in cultural heritage and history. Our Kosovarodka is a long-sleeved shirt of any color with a squiddy colors which men wear. As for the women's wear, their traditional clothing is the sarafan, and the puneva is a set of a long jumper, tops, and skirt. Russia's traditional food, pelmeni, considered the national dish of Russia. They are pastry dumplings are typically filled with minced meat and wrapped in a thin, pasta-like dough, mostly their favorite.
Russian beliefs are Russian Orthodoxy, traditional Slavic paganism, and Russian nationalism. Orthodoxy emphasizes the importance of the church icons as conduits to the divine and the pursuit of salvation through sacraments and a devout life. Slavic paganism. It believes in nature spirit and reverence for ancestor celestial bodies have persisted, influencing superstitions and rituals. Russian nationalism. Powerful and evolving political ideology emphasize Russian cultural identity and unity.
In Russia, communication between gender is influenced by traditional roles. Men often communicate more directly and assertively, while women use more collaborate and harmony-focused language. While these styles are evolving, some expectations remain. For example, men are typically more reserved emotionally, and women are expected to be more polite. Greetings and gestures are often gender-specific, with firm handshake common between men but less so between women, who may instead use three cheek kisses.
In Russia, the dominant religion of Russian Orthodoxy significantly shapes communication. It fosters a more formal and respectful tone, emphasizing humility and spiritual depth. Religious greetings like Christ is risen are used during Easter, and expressions of gratitude to God are common. Topics that disrespect the church, icons, or religious figures are often considered taboo and are avoided out of respect for believers' faith.
In Russia, respect for elders is shown through polite language, attentive listening, and avoiding interruption. Younger people often use formal speech, honorific, or respectful titles such as BY instead of BY. When addressing older individuals, honorific like babushka means grandmother or dedushka means grandfather are also used even for non-relatives as a sign of respect among peers. However, younger people seek for more casually, using informal terms and relaxing tones. Russia communication is heavily influenced by social status, often determined by person's occupation, education, and wealth. People of those lower status typically use more formal language and display difference when speaking to those of higher status. This can be seen in their tone, word choice, and even their body language, which is often more reserved. It is generally not acceptable to challenge or interrupt someone of higher social status directly, as this viewed as disrespectful and violation of established social hierarchy.
For our dear foreigners, before visiting Russia, you must understand their tradition and culture. Russians often value sincerity and directness over superficial small talk. They seem they may seem reserved at first, but this is a sign of seriousness and not friendliness. Give some greetings and show some respect.